I start to see, and it's tough because in the battles when you're facing off, there's this there's an arrogance and there's a fighting mode, which is not necessarily the right personality for the dance. Locking has so many things to offer, and the least it is clowny and negative, and that's exactly what comes out in the competitions. You're either negative at your partner, or you're the person you're going up against, or you're clowny. It's the least of what locking is about. But it's a different time period, so it's just the way I look at it. I'd just love to see, I'd love to see a little bit more of the dance individuality and the personality of the dance, rather than the personality of being against somebody. There was a recent battle, Tiffany Bong and Firelock, and they battled each other, and it was the most divine, friendly, brilliant battle. They were both extraordinary. And people were saying it wasn't a battle because they weren't angry with each other. Well, Tiffany had just driven Firelock up to San Francisco. They were coming together. I mean, what are they going to pretend they're angry with each other? Look, if you put on James Brown and it's called Sex Machine, why would you dance angry at the guy you would dance Sex Machine? Yeah. You would try to grab on to a lyric, because the lockers love to grab onto lyrics, because then they could story tell with the lyrics. That's a whole nother layer. I understand it's lost with people that don't speak English. When they hear those lyrics, they don't know what they're about, so that's another missing layer. I remember I was judging a competition, I don't remember what country. There were two girls, and Sex Machine went on, and neither of them addressed what James Brown was saying. Neither of them. They just battled each other, and he's going, Sex Machine, hot pants! And, wow, grab that line, use it. That's part of what dance is about. Communication and listening to the lyrics, and if the lyrics aren't angry, I don't know why you should be angry.
Did some people, I'm guessing, because a lot of people refer locking to as a soul dance, right?
Yeah,
Did some people not like that as well?
Yeah.
So it caused controversy?
But nowadays, I think battles are very important, because it's a big part of the scene, And I think if it was not on those battles event, if you take out locking,
it'd be a bit lower, right?
I think so.
And to be honest, I think I'm glad you kind of mentioned that, because you could see a lot of competitions now over the past 2 years, or even 3 years even, that locking category has been removed.
The problem was because people were entering battle without battling.
Right.
They were coming in a soul train way.
Yeah.
We're coming here to have a good time and dress kind of very
funky,
loud,
very
loud, like big
to
colors,
do more like to do a show, right?
More to do a show, to smile, to jump around. Nothing wrong with that, but when you have UK champs with strong battles, popping was also a funk style, from.
But they go hard too.
They go hard too, and then you have the guys coming out and jumping around and don't really have locking skills.
Yeah,
they have nice personality. They might be good dancers, but the level was very low. So the public who pay the entrance wants to see
some
strong
high
shows. And when you look at Don Campbell, the lockers, it's powerful. Sorry to say, the costume looks like them, but the skills don't look like them.
Yeah.
So this is where we start to see people like singing the song and act silly or funny to get the crowd, but the crowd was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I want you to dance, not sing
and then
to it.
At the same time, you see the popping level going strong and like clear.
Yeah.
You can see people smile also, but they're strong when what they do.
Yeah.
And the b-boying is even more crazy.
Yeah, of course.
So locking out. Other events, I mostly connect with all the events in Europe, and it's a big confusion because you know people do that because they think they're soul and funk. And look at James Brown, man. I don't see James Brown running around and act funny and silly. So they're gonna say, yeah, I'm soul, and then they have no technique. They just jump around. So.
But there's a place for everything, though, right? If you're entering a competition, then you would expect to compete, you know,
you prepare.
Like to prepare, compete, and like try to beat the other person. But yeah, so if you're showcasing then or partying, then you can just leave that in the clubs or for a client elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like,
so now you're entering a competition when you have judges and stuff. Actually, some judges they are against it, but they're judging it. That's another funny thing I've seen during the years. They're against battle. They say to everybody it's a bad thing, but then they're judging it. I guess it's because maybe they want to say that battle is not the only thing and it's killing the club vibe. But to me it's not killing the club vibe because
the club side's always there.
Go to the battle and then after to the after party or to the club. Why do you have to pick one or the other? That's my question. I really believe that battles help locking to come back strongly.
To say to all the young people out there is that you really need to appreciate each other's dance style. It's not really that you need to really battle each other. You are one. You are one no matter what style you are because you never stay at one style. If you love the dance and you love the entertainment world, you will learn more. It's called growing and changing. So I would like to see, if you do decide to get in battle, that it's not always taken as a battle, hate on hate thing, but it's a love of enthusiastic encouragement to the other dancers. If we could do that, we can take this dance and all the different styles into the next millennium.
I never counted. People call things, I say, wrist roll. I never thought a person don't say, oh wrist roll, I got to stop. You know, it don't work that way. I'm just out dancing. If, you know, I flow, that's why I tell kids, you don't have to roll your wrist. You don't have to, you're being like me when you were being free. You know, and you got to do it the way you feel comfortable at. You're not gonna be me, beat me at me. You're gonna be me, challenging me to what you got inside. The idea is to get out there and you might call battle each other.
The competition, right?
Yeah, that's right. You compete with that, and you know you're gonna beat me coming up with moves that I can't deal with it. You know. She beat me, you know? And you can't be no villain to a woman on the floor because everybody's watching it. You know, you can't be, you gotta be a gentleman. You gotta kiss her and stay away from her because you already know what she's trying to do. Reel you in.
People say valet style and chain reaction. When you have the original style, the chain reaction, to me, and that's my opinion, they took the shape of it and the power moves. They were very good in acrobatic, and they put that to a very high level.
So they refined it.
They really structured that style that they watch on TV with the lockers. I think it was mostly Shab and Fluky. They really emulate what these guys were doing. And they just make it without what people call party dance or soul dance. basically they show, and the music changed too, because it's late 70s, early 80s. The music is more computer
synthesized.
Sharp. So it's a bit more sharp in a way, like more computer. So it's just a different feel. And so they were influenced by the chain reaction and the lockers. I think, to me, Valley style is kind of a mix of the two. Because you can see like Richie, Anthony Thomas, or Jazzy J, the way they lock. You can see develop like a lot of structure. Like what they call double time. But in the same time, they have groove. The music change, the structure change. And going there and do a few party dance in the cipher was not the moment. You know? It's not soul train anymore. It's clubs from the 80s, like from what I heard, and when you watch the videos, like even the movie Breaking, you see bells, locking and popping bells. You see Shabadoo versus Popping Pete and Taco versus Shrimp. And you can see like the ambience and the bandanas and the graffiti, the DJ. So it's kind of a different time. So I wasn't there, I was not there, but from everybody I've learned from, they always tell me like that moment was tough. And you have to dance tough. It was not like it's a different time than the 70s, right? So that style, many people start to develop choreography also. So all the double time sequences and stuff, they were doing that in unison, in groups. Talent shows, competition, dance club, when they have like a competition of dancing competition. So it become more like choreography based and technical. The technique went like this. So for me, the Valley style is like groovy with structure.
Well, in dancing, what we want to remember, mixing dance styles is cool. But what we must remember that our dancing is supposed to be enjoyed. And you're also supposed to think of people, if you have dancing as a high esteem thing, and it's something that you really enjoy, you want to make sure that people that are watching you really understand the transition. Every step that you do has got to be clean for the onlooker. It's just like telling a story. In the movie, you don't go from the ending and then you end up with the beginning. You start out establishing what the character does. What's his good side? What's his bad side? He has to go down to a low point. He has to be coming up victorious at the end. You have to get emotional and get involved with the character. Dancing is the same situation.
And how do you think we should preserve the foundation, but also encourage innovation? If that can open up to anybody else.
Well, for me, it's just without the foundation, how can you innovate? You know, like for me, it's very, very, very important to respect that foundation, to respect that basic part of everything. Because as for me, I always love to play with things, play with different things. Like if I'm gonna learn a point, I'm gonna make sure I learn that point, and then I'm gonna play with it so much. And that's how you're gonna innovate, by having that foundation. It's like if you build your house with nothing, with no foundation, it's just gonna crumble. Like for me, you're always gonna improve by always going back to that foundation, always seeking it, always seeing it. If you feel like you're losing it a little bit, you go back to it. And from there, you can only create.
Creativity, where does that come from? Well, if you were always upset, you can't create, you can't think of creating anything. So what is dancing all about? Well, for 2,000 years, dancing has only been about having fun, having a good time. So when you're having a good time dancing and having fun dancing, street dancing is having a good time, having a lot of fun, you're going to be able to create. You're going to be able to think of new moves. And that's what's happening now. And so I am so happy to be back. Since I've been back, I created a new step. It's called the pause. And probably had to put the Scooby pause on, and I'm not thinking anybody might take it, but I just probably should put that first. Maybe it's the Scooby pause. The pause. But how did I create that? Well, just like Don Campbell was able to create these steps, these moves in locking, by accident he was making these moves. By accident he was pointing. It just was, and he kept it. Well, that's how I created the pause. It was by accident. I was made up a routine for something else.